Praise the Lord, everybody. We want to welcome you once again to our virtual Worship in the Word. At this time, would you be so kind to share this broadcast out? Right now, we're going to get into a word of prayer before getting into the Word. Father, in the name of Jesus, we just want to say thank you for your presence. We want to pray right now, Lord God, that you would have your way, that you would use Bishop in a mighty way, Lord God, that you would use your servant. In Jesus' name, Father, right now, Lord God, I pray, Lord God, that the worship that goes up before you, Lord God, be pleasing unto you. Father, change our lives and make us new. In the name of Jesus, we pray right now for an anointing to fall. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, right now, wherever you are, begin to lift up a worship and a high praise unto your King, for he is so worthy. Hallelujah. Come on and bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Come on, I don't know about you, but in spite of what everything's going on around the world, I know that God is able to turn it around. God's going to work it out. Just keep on having faith. Hallelujah. Come on, clap those hands. Hallelujah. Lord, we thank you for your presence. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. Come on. Turn it around. Open the windows of heaven. Pour out a blessing. Overflow. Turn it around. Open the windows of heaven. Pour out a blessing. We cannot contain. Let it rain. Hallelujah. Come on. We ask you, Lord. Oh, we need to see the rain. Let it rain. Hallelujah. Come on, y'all. Listen to this song. Yeah. All things are possible for you. All things are possible. Nothing's too difficult for you. Nothing's too difficult. All things are possible for you. All things are possible. Nothing's too difficult for you. Nothing's too difficult. I'm ready for rain, ready for change, ready for favor. I know that you're able to turn it around. Yeah. Open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing, overflow. Turn it around. Open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing. We cannot contain. Let it rain. Hallelujah. Oh Lord, we need you to send your rain. Let it rain. Woo. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Come on, let's go back to that verse again. Oh, all things are possible for you. All things are possible. Nothing's too difficult for you. Nothing's too difficult. All things are possible for you. All things are possible. Woo. Nothing's too difficult for you. Nothing's too difficult. I'm ready for rain, ready for change, I'm ready for favor. I know that you're able to turn it around. Open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing, overflow. Turn it around. Open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing. We cannot contain. Let it rain. Come on. Hallelujah. Oh Lord, we need you to send your rain. Let it rain. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Listen. Oh, you turn my mourning to dancing. You turn my sorrow to joy. You have turned my whole life around, and I thank you. I thank you, Lord. You have turned my mourning to dancing. You turn my sorrow to joy. You have turned my whole life around, and I thank you. I thank you, Lord. You have turned my mourning to dancing. You turn my sorrow to joy. You have turned my whole life around, and I thank you. I thank you, Lord. You have turned my mourning to dancing you turn, my sorrow to joy you have turned, my whole life around. And I thank you, Lord, you have turned my mourning to dancing you turn, my sorrow to joy you have turned, my whole life around. And I thank you, Lord, you have turned my mourning to dancing you turn, my sorrow to joy you have turned, my whole life around. And I thank you, turn it around. Hey, open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, overflow, turn it around. Open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing we cannot contain, let it rain, hallelujah, oh Lord, let it rain, hallelujah, Lord, we ask for your rain, hallelujah, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus, for sending your rain, hallelujah. I don't know about you, but I know that Lord is going to turn it around, hallelujah. He's going to turn it around. Jesus, we thank you. Woo, worship him. Hallelujah. If you believe he's going to turn it around. Woo. Thank you, Jesus. We worship you, Lord. Because sooner or later, it's going to turn in my favor. I said sooner or later, it's gonna turn in our favor. I said sooner or later, it's gonna turn in our favor. Just wait, 'cause sooner or later, it'll turn in our favor. Oh, sooner or later, it'll turn in our favor. I believe it. It's turning around for me. It won't always be turning around for me. If you believe it, if you believe it, oh, I don't care what it looks like. It's turning around for me. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. It's turning around for me. Said you gotta receive it. Said you gotta receive it. And you gotta believe it. It's turning around for me. We believe.
Hear me. Thank you. I did all of that. And nobody did. Thank you, wife.
Start over.
I'm not starting over. All right. That's funny. All right. Well, I prayed and I hope you prayed. Amen. All right. So let me get back to it. I'm a little bit thrown off and you'll understand why in just a moment. I'm a little bit bothered by the events that's going on, and that's what we're going to talk about on tonight. But make sure you don't have to knock.
Still can't hear you.
Yes, you can. It's not going to be immediate because the stream is behind. Thank you so much, wife. All right. As I was saying, I'm thrown off. That was a good distraction. I'm a little bit thrown off, and I'll tell you why. But listen, if you are watching us on Facebook, make sure you've been sent an invitation to join a private group. You'll get all the announcements because I want to make sure that we stay connected. Check your email. Make sure you reconnect with us with your text messaging and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to move forward in Jesus' name. All right. Now, Thank you and welcome to all of our streaming audience on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We love you. Website, we love you. Periscope, we love you. Thank you for joining us on tonight. This Saturday and coming on Monday, we have a new, I want you to make sure you put this in your phone, new prayer line. I'm not going to leave this on the screen long. You can come back later and pause it and watch. But we have a new conference call number. This will be sent to your email and to your text messages, all right? Because I want to make sure that we use our time wisely, all right? Also, make sure you sign up for the text alerts. Stay on that. If you have any, I know a lot of you are saying that you are missing information, and it's probably because you're not subscribed to the text messaging or you unsubscribe. So make sure you sign up for the text messaging on tonight, all right? As always, if you have any questions, email me at BibleStudy@GospelArcDC.com. I see some of y'all laughing. I need y'all to know me and Lady C we got a real relationship. That's just us. That's just us all the time. I really want to laugh right now. The way that she was knocking on that door is hilarious to me too. All right, so let's go. We're going to have this conversation, all right? I want to talk to you about courageous confrontation. Courageous confrontation, all right? Courageous confrontation. I was thinking a few years ago, and I can't remember exactly when or where he said it, but I'm a fan of stand-up comedy. And Chris Rock once said, or he was asked a question, if black men were an endangered species, all right? And he said no, which surprised, I guess a lot of people. He said no because the law protects endangered species. In our, we're in the DMV. The church is in Washington D.C. and right downtown there's a building that houses the Department of Interior. And they set up laws that protect plants and animals, birds, things that they think are going to become extinct. They protect them, but there is no law that protects us as black men. And I'm going to go back a few years, but it needs to be said that something is wrong when you can go to jail faster and get arrested faster for killing dogs. But we have to march and, protest to get you, just to get justice for killing a black man. And so, and I know that conversation is uncomfortable for a lot of people. You're going to have to move on in your spirit on tonight. You're going to have to move on in your spirit tonight if that bothers you, if it makes you uncomfortable. I know as soon as you start talking like this, there are some people who say, well, a lot of people are being killed. Or what about when black people kill black people? That's not the conversation on tonight. So if that's your argument to me, this is not the stream. I will see you next week. All right? Because talking about race makes people uncomfortable. And whenever we talk race, there's always someone who wants to come and change the narrative. So somebody will see my shirt that says Black Lives Matter, and then without question, somebody else comes back, all lives matter, right? But that is not the subject. That's not the subject. That's not what we're talking about. Because what has to be understood, and I'm going to go to the Bible, just give me a little bit of time. I got a lot of Bible for you on tonight. Because what I'm going to tell you, none of this is new. None of it is new, all right? Racism and prejudice existed before America even existed, but it was built upon that construct. And we got to find a way to reconcile that with where we are right now. All right. So listen. America has a history of destroying black men, young black men especially. All right. From the time that they stole us from Africa in the Middle Passage, if you wasn't strong enough to finish that voyage, they would throw you overboard, right? Then you get here and you're subject to slavery. And then you're subject to lynchings and hangings. Now we have to deal with capital punishment. And in some places, you are 3 times more likely to be recommended for the death sentence if you are black defendant than a white defendant in the same case. I need y'all to understand that. It's rough and exhausting being a black man in America. And I need you to understand that as a nation, all of what you're seeing, the news is on in front of me right now. All this what we're seeing, I've never seen a time in my life, and I'm sure that there are many of the mothers and fathers who are watching. In my lifetime, I've never seen where 50 states, think about that, y'all, 50 states are protesting the exact same thing. It's crazy. And for anybody who wants to say that racism is dead, I need you to understand it's alive and kicking. He just took off what you call those, overalls and jeans and put on a suit and tie. All right. He got a law degree now. He's James Crow Esquire. All right. So I want you to understand the way that, and I'm going to teach my Bible lesson in just a second, but the way that racism works, it is systemic, it is strategic, and overall, it is satanic. Now, what I'm going to say to you is, I'm not saying that people who are racist have the devil in them, but I will say that they are influenced. They are influenced by the devil. And because the devil is behind this, it is time for you and I to be strategic and suit up and put on our armor, because we have to do something to protect ourselves and to protect the generation behind. So I want to have this conversation. I want to add to the conversation. I certainly do not purport to be the smartest person in the room. There are people who are far more versed at these subjects than I am. But this has become particularly hard for me to ignore. I got to confess, I've done my best to avoid watching the video. After watching the video of Ahmaud Arbery and hearing the story of Breonna Taylor, it's somewhat traumatic and I could not watch, but it's hard for me to ignore for a specific reason, because that's my name. So every time I hear it, I'm hearing my name and I'm seeing myself in the story. Every time, they say Floyd, my eyes light up and I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. So I'm looking on social media, just to move on. Looking on social media a couple of days ago, and I've seen a few things that bother me. When our white brothers and sisters who are a part of the body of Christ, they either don't comment. Many have, and we thank God for them. They either don't comment or their comments are tone deaf. The one that bothered me especially, I can't think of his name, and the clip is kind of hard to find, but many of you have seen it. I'm not going to share it because I don't give light to things that I don't like, okay? But this gentleman was a Hillsong campus pastor in the UK, and he made this tone deaf statement saying, I'm not going to comment because I don't live in America. And it hit me hard because, how can you say something like that? How can you see people suffering and going through what they're going through now, and you just say nothing? And it hit me. He's speaking from a place of white privilege. He doesn't feel like he has to make a comment on it, because the reality is it doesn't affect him directly, right? And he said it. He said how he felt. He does not live here. So, okay. But I just want you to understand, and I see y'all in the comments. I see you in the comments. I want you to understand the trauma that we deal with as black parents. And I'm new. I'm saying I'm new. I haven't been a father a long time. My oldest is almost 16. You hear me talk about him all the time. Today, before I get into the scripture, just let me break this down. So today, I'm looking at all this on the news, and I'm on the phone talking to a family member, and he walks up to me. My son walks up to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting ready to leave the house. I'm getting ready to ride my bike." Right? And feeling, this feeling of terror and fear just ran through me because of the climate of the world. And I'm sitting here like, Lord, why am I so afraid? All my son wants to do is just be a normal child. He just want to go out and spend time, doing kid stuff. But the fear for us is that every time my child walks out of my house, he may not come back for being perceived as a threat. Let's not forget that a week ago, it's only been a week and the news cycle changes fast, but don't forget the lady that called the police that lied on the man, and I saw people caring more about the choked dog than what could have happened to that man. She called the police and lied and said she felt in danger because she weaponized her whiteness, because she knew if she called the police and they showed up, he could have died. And so I'm looking at it through this construct, and I'm saying, man, if my son could walk out here and not come back just because he wanted to ride his bike. So and it bothers me. Here I come, y'all. I ain't got that much longer. It bothers me that we have to march and protest. I don't want my son or any of your sons, any of us, to be no hashtag on the T-shirt. I don't want that. And so we got to figure out how we're going to get this right. So now, I'm going to give you all these scripture references. Write them down. I'm going to give you a minute or so. There may be one or two other ones that I mentioned. But write these down. Write these down. And I ain't trying to make nobody cry. But this is a very volatile and emotional time, for us. And what hit me is I wondered, do parents of other races, and if you're here, let me know. I wonder, do parents of other races feel that way when their children leave the house? And 9 out of 10 is no. I have to talk to him about how to interact with people for fear that he'll be perceived as a threat. So let's look at this. Write these down, because we're going to go through them, and this is pretty much the order. That courageous conversation is going to be in Galatians, but I'm using all those to build a point. And tonight, because I want to be concise, I'm not going to put all these scriptures on the screen. All right, I'm not going to put the scriptures on the screen. We're just going to have a good old-fashioned conversation. All right, so John 4, Matthew 16, Acts chapter 1. Y'all know what Acts 1 and 8 says. Acts 4:31, Acts 7, Acts 13, Acts 2. All right, Acts 10, and Galatians chapter number 2. All right. Now I'm gonna say some doctrinal stuff. It's gonna be a good study. I'm gonna say some doctrinal stuff, but I don't want you to see the Bible as an apostolic on tonight. All right. I don't want you to see it as Baptist or Trinitarian, wherever you come from. I don't know who all is on here, but I want you to see this just as a believer. Just be a believer on tonight. All right. Because I might say something that violates what you believe. I had a whole other Bible class prepared, but this thing was on my heart so heavy that I felt the need to go this way, all right? So let's jump into this courageous conversation. As I've already said, or courageous confrontation. As I've already said, racism and prejudice is not a new thing. It is not a new phenomenon. Anybody that acts like it started when the slave ships left here and went to other places to bring people back here, that's a lie. Racism is in the Bible. Prejudice is in the Bible. We see it going back as far as the book of Exodus. You had slavery right there. All right. So it's not new. It's not new. And I'm gonna show you this. How even the disciples, how they walked with Jesus, was still racist. Matter of fact, we kind of talked about this last week, right? In John chapter number 4, in verse number 4, Jesus says, I gotta go to Samaria. I gotta go to Samaria. I need to go through Samaria, which signifies for us, he felt the pull of assignment to take that route, right? And because he knows how the disciples feel, but he doesn't want them to pull him off assignment and waste a bunch of time explaining, he says, y'all go to the store, go get me something to eat. I'm hungry. Here's a couple dollars, run down there, get me something to eat, right? What I want you to see is, and I didn't put the verse, but it's in there, that once Jesus begins the conversation, the world famous conversation with the woman at the well, we understand. She says to him, why are you talking to me? Right? Because she understands the prejudice and racism of the time is that people like you don't talk to people like me. Right? We shouldn't even be having this conversation because we're different races. I'm a Samaritan, you a Jew, right? Fast forward to verse 27, the disciples show up after he's ministered to her. The assignment is done, but the disciples show up, and the Bible says that they were surprised to find him talking with the woman, but nobody asked, what do you want? To the woman, not to him, to the woman. What do you want? Why are you talking to her? Nobody asked that question, but they're looking at why are you talking to her? Not just talking to a woman, but why are you talking to that woman or that kind of woman? Why? Because Jews felt a way. Let's talk about it. Jews felt a way about Samaritans. And guess who is numbered in the disciples? Peter is right there with them. All right? The Bible, he's in that group. He's in that group of 12. So I'm gonna say to you that watch, Peter, who was the chief apostle, right? Anytime you read a list of their names, Peter's name is always first. His name is always first. He don't like Samaritans. And as an Orthodox Jew, he's been raised in a construct that says we're better than them. We don't like Samaritans, and we don't like Gentiles because they are different. Are y'all with me? Because they're different from us. I told you this last week. I'm just repeating myself. So watch. Let's go. Fast forward to Acts chapter 1 and verse 8. We know this one and we quote it, but we miss nuggets in this one verse. Acts 1 and 8 says, but you shall receive power when the Holy Ghost comes upon you, right? And we shout, I got power. But watch what he says. He says, because somebody preached this on Sunday, I'm sure. It was quoted on Sunday. We celebrate Pentecost, the birth of the church, but I need you to know what the power is for. He says, and you shall be witnesses unto me in Jerusalem. That's here. That's in your direct area. That's for people that you love. And Judea, I got it. I gotta be a witness and a praiser. I got it. But then he says, and in Samaria, right? And all of them should have been like, wait a minute. Because what he's saying is, I'm giving you the power to deal with people that you don't like, that are different from you, right? I need you, and I need y'all to remember this. I'm giving you power to deal with folk that you don't like, to deal with folk that are different from you, to deal with folk that you probably can't stand, but you need the Holy Ghost to deal with people that you see as other. All right? And this, so right here, I want to say something. Now, this is how I see Scripture. You don't have to see it this way. All right? I need you to understand something, because we make terms synonymous that might not necessarily be. So we say that being saved and being filled are the same thing. Some of y'all do. I'm saved and filled. Being saved and being filled are two different things. And this is where I think a lot of the problem comes in as it pertains to race in the church. Because we'll say that because, it's like I can't say that man that made that tone deaf statement over in the UK. I cannot open my mouth and say he's not saved. I don't think that he's filled with the Holy Ghost. But I'll make that distinction. And that's the problem with a lot of us. We're saved, but we're not filled. What's the difference? The difference. Okay. See, when you get saved, right? When you get saved, salvation is not experienced naturally. It happens in the spirit. So, contrary to popular belief, you don't feel saved all the time. Because salvation, true salvation, when Paul talks about how we all baptized into one body, right? He's not talking about water, he's talking about a spiritual action. And salvation takes place in your spirit. But when he fills you, here's the real deal. The filling of the Holy Spirit always comes with a manifestation. I ain't told y'all to write nothing. Write that down right there. Write that down. Filling comes with manifestation. Whenever in Scripture you see somebody get filled with the Holy Ghost, it always comes with a manifestation. Now, we mess up and get caught up in the manifestations, right? We teach manifestations as proof, and manifestation does not mean proof, right? What filling means is that I have yielded myself to God for Him to take over, right? And so when I say that I'm filled, when a person is filled with the Spirit, it's going to produce a spiritual character. This is a good note to write down, all right? Because I don't want to go too fast, but I'm not going to take all night. Filling produces spiritual character and spiritual power, listen to me, in a variety of ways, okay? And in conjunction with a variety of circumstances, right? So depending upon the circumstance, yes, Lord, the circumstance will dictate the manifestation. All right. So the manifestation, we just celebrated Pentecost. Y'all still here? We celebrated Pentecost, and the manifestation at Pentecost was what? Tongues. Why? Because that was what was required because of who showed up. Right? He didn't just give the tongues just so everybody could prove, I told you I got it. No. There were people that spoke different languages that were present. So he said, I got to if everybody was sick, if it was a hospital on Pentecost, he would have manifested as healing. I'm going to prove my point. I'm not just saying this. Whenever you see filling, there's a manifestation of God that is needed at the time, right? Or the character of God that is needed at the time so that we can say, okay, this guy had to be saved, right? So I'm going to show you because I'm still talking about race. So in Acts chapter number 4, the Bible says they were filled with the Spirit, right? But God filled them that time not to speak in tongues, but to speak the word with boldness. All right? In Acts chapter 7, this is the story of Stephen. We know Stephen is sitting there getting ready to get stoned, and the Bible says that the heavens opened up. But the Bible says in Acts 7 that God filled Stephen, so watch this, not so he can speak in tongues, but so that he can handle the abuse that was getting ready to come his way. He was full of the Spirit to manifest the character of God. Y'all got it? Acts 13. God filled Paul so that he could have discernment in the moment that he was in. I'm just trying to get you to see that when he fills us, filling comes with manifestation, right? It's going to be fruit. It's going to be gifts. Filling comes with manifestation. But filling and salvation are not synonymous, right? All right. So you have people that God has saved, but we're not manifesting the character of God. Why? How can I say that? Because there's no way you can make a tone-deaf statement or act like you don't care about what people that look like me are going through, and you just say, well, that ain't me. Well, I wish y'all would get out the street. You saved. I can't deny your relationship with Christ. But you're more bothered that people are, doing what they're doing in the street. And I'm not signing off on all of it. I know But also understand that the looters and the protesters are two different groups of people. But you're more mad about that than you are that man, his children don't have a father name. That's a problem. That's a problem. So let me show you. Let me get back to Peter. So here we go. And if I was going to take more time, I could walk through a whole bunch of stuff. But let me show you something about Peter. So go to Matthew chapter number 16. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 13. Jesus comes to the region of Caesarea Philippi, and he asks the disciples. This is a famous scripture. This is a well-known scripture. He asks his disciples, who do men say that I am? Right? And verse 14, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, others are saying Jeremiah, one of the prophets, right? Then Jesus breaks it down. He says, what about you? Who do you say that I am? And of all of the 12, Simon Peter, right? This is the same man that I told you who was with the 12, who had a problem with Samaritans. Watch. He says, you are the Christ. You are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God. Peter has the revelation. As a result of him having the revelation, understanding that revelation came from a direct download from God. God had to tell Peter who Jesus was, right? Let's go. So he says, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah bar Jonah. He says, this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, right? And on this rock, now, I ain't gonna deal with that. He says, on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail, right? Verse 19 is where I want. Verse 19, he says, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. All right? So Peter has the keys, and watch, because I'm going to explain what this means. Peter say, and Jesus says to him, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. So he's got the keys. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's very fundamental. What is a key? A key is a thing that provides a means of gaining access, right? So Jesus tells Peter, I'm going to give you what you need to provide access. You are going to open up something. You're going to have the power to open up, all right? Peter has the keys. Type that so I know that y'all listening to me. Peter got the keys. Peter got the keys, all right? So here we go. So now, fast forward to the book of Acts. And in the book of Acts, you see Peter using the keys. Watch this, in relation to two ethnic divisions. I'm going somewhere. Just stay with me. Within 20 minutes, we're gonna be done. All right. So Peter uses the keys with two different ethnic groups. Here we go. You see it. We know the first one. We see him use the keys for the Jews, right? After the mighty rushing wind comes in, Peter is the one who gets up and preaches the gospel of Jesus Christ. But watch this. This is easy for him here, because even though all those people spoke different languages, guess what? They were all Jews. If you read Acts chapter 2 and right at verse number 5, it tells you they were all Jews and devout men. They just lived in different countries, but they came home. You know they were Jewish because they came home to celebrate the festival of Pentecost, which is the giving of the law. So he's preaching to people that are like him. That's easy. He's full of the Holy Ghost, and God gives him an assignment to preach to his people. Fast forward to Acts chapter number 10. Now, Peter's using those same keys again to usher in Gentiles. This is important. All right? Now he's preaching to Gentiles. So Peter is the apostle who opens the door. God gave him the keys, right? But watch this. Just because he got the keys and just because he's saved, and sometimes he's filled. That don't mean he's totally changed. Because you get saved one time, but you got to keep getting filled. And if we tell the truth, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We ain't always full of the Holy Ghost. If you say you are, you are not telling the truth. Ain't nobody watching me right now. Ain't nobody hearing me. YouTube, you ain't saved all the time. I'm not gonna say saved, that ain't the right way. You ain't full all the time. Facebook, you ain't full all the time. Periscope, you ain't full all the time. Website, you ain't full all the time. Ain't nobody full of the Holy Ghost all the time. That's why you got to get up. That's why I keep telling y'all 10, 10, 10. You got to be intentional about being filled, right? And watch this. If we be technical, according to Acts 2 that we love so much, the prerequisite to filling was prayer and unity. All right? So let me get back on point. So Peter, and I'm going to prove it to you, Peter still got prejudice in his heart. He preached and all them folk got saved. But if you do a careful analysis of Acts 10 and 11, when God gives him the vision, that basically means I'm getting ready to bring other people in. I'm getting ready to use you to do it. Peter had consternation. God told Peter, he sent down a sheet from heaven with all manner of food on it. He said, Peter, eat this food. And this food is food that goes against the Jewish religion. But God told him to eat. Peter was like, nah, God, I can't do that. He knows the voice of God. He's heard from God. But he's disobedient to what God wanted him to do with that because he's a Jew and he felt like being a Jew really meant something. Oh God. Okay. So read that when you get it. But Peter's the one that God used. He brings Cornelius in, and now Jews and Gentiles are saved. And they came in because one man had the keys, right? But he still got something in his heart. Let me move forward. So now I'm in Galatians. Here's the courageous confrontation. I'm going to prove to you. Now the backdrop of this is Acts 15. When you read Acts 15, you see this meeting that's going forth, and they were having problems understanding why the Gentiles were there with the Jews. All right. And what happens is Peter stands up and says, well, listen, he says, I don't see no problem. Let the Gentiles come in. Now he's talking good now, right? But let's look at Galatians chapter 2. And then we're gonna roll. Here we go. So the Bible says, Galatians 2 and 11. He says, when Cephas, that's Peter, when Cephas came to Antioch, Paul says, I opposed him to his face, because he stood condemned. For certain men came from James, and he used to eat with the Gentiles, right? But when they arrived, when the Jewish folk came around, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. And the other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy, even Barnabas was led astray. So watch, the same man that preached on the day of Pentecost, the same man that God gave the keys to unlock and let everybody in, is the same man in this text. I can't say that he ain't saved. I can't say he ain't saved. But in this moment, he wasn't operating with the character of God. Because you're afraid of what other people gonna say. You're afraid of losing relationships. You don't even want to eat with people that don't look like you. They saved like you. And so I know he ain't filled. I know he ain't operating in the character of God. It don't mean that he don't believe in Jesus Christ. But he ain't operating in the character of God. Because why? Because you can't, and I'm quoting Bishop Caleb McIntosh. He said this on Sunday. You can't hate people that don't look like you and don't have your plan. You can't hate that and then tell me that you filled with the Holy Ghost. I don't care how anointed you are. I don't care how big your church is. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. I don't care how many people follow you all over the world. If you don't see me as your brother beyond the color of my skin, that's a problem. And so what I like about this text, let's go. What I like about the text is that a man by the name of the Apostle Paul, right? Paul goes and courageously confronts Peter to his face. Verse 11 says, I opposed him to his face. I walked right up to his face. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because here's the thing. Lord, I hope y'all enjoying this. Let me tell you why this is important. Because Paul and Peter look the same. They both Jews. They look the same. They come from the same place. They speak the same language. They have an understanding. And they both had the benefit of being in the first group that Jesus called. So what I'm saying, I'm getting excited, but let me calm down just a little bit. What I'm saying is we need more people who look like Paul. Or let me say this way. We need more allies like Paul who look like the offenders and courageously confront this nonsense that's going on. I reject the notion that it is up to us to solve the problem of slavery and all the stuff that come with that. It ain't my job to fix racism. I can't fix racism. Anybody that look like me cannot fix it. And I don't want to hear that because we have a few black billionaires that ain't no more racism. Lies. But it's not our job to fix racism. Because we have never benefited from racism. I ain't never benefited from racism. Right? But those who have, you have to speak up. You got to speak up. You can't let these things happen to your brothers and sisters in Christ and don't say nothing. Be like Paul. When you see it, walk up and say something. I thank God for all the pastors. Today, I saw Joe Osteen was at the protest in Houston. I saw Pastor Carl Lentz in New York talking with Bishop Jakes and asking questions. What do you need us to do? But to my white brothers and sisters, don't sit back and just watch us. We ain't doing this for nothing. And the reason that stuff is tore up the way that it is, I go back in my lifetime. I'm 48 years old. When I was in my early 20s, the first time now, I'm from Southern California. I've seen police brutality before. I've seen it before there was cameras. I had friends who knew the police officer's name when they came around and just started running because they knew they was going to get beat up, right? You don't have to be doing nothing. It's going to get beat up. But think about this. Rodney King, that trial was in 1992. Why are we still having the same issues? Why we still got the same problems? Why today did I have to feel fear about my son just going outside? That's a problem. I need people who look like the offenders to confront it. You saved by the same blood as me? Wonderful. Confront it. Don't leave us out here by ourselves. I'm getting ready to stop, but I want to quote on my page. If you are a Facebook friend of me, go to my page. I linked an article that I want you to read that my cousin Anthony Trufant, he pastors Emmanuel Temple Baptist Church in Brooklyn, New York, and he wrote an article that is just fire. All right, he says this is just one of the quotes. He says, ultimately, I'm not asking you to eliminate racism no more than I would ask you to take wings and fly to the moon. I'm just asking you to do your part, call it out, and correct it whenever and wherever you see it. Be more invested and less indifferent and or silent. Use your position and privilege as a white person in a largely white country to extend the same access and opportunity, equality, and justice to everyone. In short, I'm just asking you to do your part to make America the land of the free and the home of the brave, not just for your children's sake, but mine too. I need more of us. I need more of our white brothers and sisters to step up and do the right thing. All right. That's all I'm going to say for tonight. I could go a little deeper, but I want to leave that right there. I think this was poignant. I pray that it was relevant for you, but we've got to have these courageous confrontation. All right. So listen. I hope you enjoyed the word on tonight. Listen, if you are looking for a church home, and I know some of y'all are watching from all over the country, all over the world. You don't have to live in PG County, Charles County, Virginia. You don't have to live here for me to be your pastor. That day is gone. The walls of the church have been torn down. If you are interested in being a part of what we're doing, I want you to email us at membership@gospelartsdc.com. If you are interested in giving your life to Christ, I want you to email us at that same email address, and we will minister to you as soon. You want to be baptized? Anything you need, any of your salvation needs, we want to meet them. Before you leave, I want you to make sure that you sow your seeds. If you're on the website, click on the Give tab. If you got Givelify, open it up on your phone. I think there's a link on all of the stream. There's a link where you can tap it. It'll take you right there. And of course, you can send things in the mail. Remember to sign up for the text alerts. Make sure that you check your emails. All announcements will be coming through there. I want y'all to know I love y'all. I love y'all. And Javon and Will ministered the song that sooner or later things are going to work in our favor. All right, it's going to get good. It's going to come together, and God is going to turn this thing around. He's going to turn it around for us. All right. I want you to enjoy your evening. I'm getting ready to pray, and you have a wonderful rest of your week. Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for your word. I thank you for the ray of light today with the announcement of partial justice. We have moved an inch, but we still have thousands of miles to go. I pray for the Floyd family. I pray for the family of Breonna Taylor. I pray for the family of Ahmaud Arbery. I pray for all of the parents and families that have been affected by senseless violence in our country. I pray that this word that I taught go beyond just the audience that hears it now, but I pray that it be heard around the world, and that more of our brothers and sisters would please stand and let's pull down this demonic, racist, devil-influenced system that would turn things around so that our country and our nation can rest. I thank you, God, and I praise you forever for what you are doing in our lives. In spite of all of the hurt and pain, we say that you are still a good God. We thank you, we love you, and we praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, everybody. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I will see you Sunday morning. God bless. Love you.